everybody. This week we're talking about take a break. This is something that we really are trying to use for every student um, and allow them to go to a place to cool down, right? So, why should you do it? Step one, why? It gives students the ability to cool down, right? Um, it allows students to take time away if they're stressed out or from something that could potentially cause them to be stressed. So, for example, if you say, let's say transitions, right? A student has a really hard time transitioning from A to B, right? Um, if they are having a hard time getting from reading to math, you say, like, why don't you go take a break before you get to the math station? That way, they're not having a complete meltdown to math, on the way to math, at math, and then it just really takes away from that center. So it just allows them to label their feelings, own how they're feeling, and take that break to cool down. It also can help students reset. And we've had, an example would be they just got back from gym and they're having a really hard time getting back into like their classroom academically. Um, and they need that time to just like reset, breathe, and get back into, the routine of things. That's great. It can help a student even if they are not even feeling angry or frustrated. They just need that minute or a space away from a student or a staff member. Like it gives them that opportunity again to own their feelings, calm down, and get that space that they need. When should you do it? When a student really gets off task from something and is beginning to be disruptive, but not problematic. So you notice that they're starting to be either argumentative or refusal of a task, or to follow a direction. Like, can you cut on the line, or can you glue this, or anything like that? You should pull out the feelings board or just verbally label those feelings and say, like, you seem really frustrated right now, or you seem really mad. So why don't you go take a break to calm down, and then when you come back, we will begin that lesson, right? Um, when students seem fidgety, right? So a lot of our students like to move, are movers and shakers. So if other than their norm, like you just see as someone who normally like flaps their hands or rocks back and forth, if that seems a little bit more aggressive and more like forceful, maybe that's when you can label an emotion for them and bring them to the break area. Um, when they seem bored, honestly, you can just say, hey, why don't you go take a break? And that'll transition them into um, the lesson following that feeling for them. Um, when they have feelings that are not in a heightened, escalated state, but, like I said, um, it's the beginning of that disruption, right? So whenever you feel like that student is a little off or a little overwhelmed or anxious or frustrated, you can direct them to a break because it could de-escalate that student's behavior and can minimize the likelihood of an aggressive episode happening, right? Another way to do it, or how you do it, is we have break cards, right? And so it has the word break on it. You can give them to that student or your child, and they can walk, or you can wheel them to that break area and say, like, you are in a break now, and you set a timer. And again, timers are something that we talked about last week. Provide the student with a timer to give them that structure in there. They have also little fidgets they can use in there. There's no screen time, there's no coloring and drawing and puzzles and nothing rewarding, right? It's a very structured setting in the sense that they can use little fidgets, calm themselves down. And when the timer goes off, the student returns to what they initially are doing, right? And before you put them in a break and give them the fidgets to use, really go over how a break is with them. So verbally communicate with them. We come to the break area, we sit down, we start the timer, we pick a fidget. When the timer goes off, we go back to the activity, or you can go back to watching your show, or whatever routine that you build around the whole break area. And this is something where you can use, and I think it was 2 weeks ago, creating a schedule. So how your break is going to go with a visual schedule for them, how it is, right? Again, either you as a parent or a friend or whomever, caregiver, can direct them and initiate the break. But the end goal is the student realizing their feelings and their feeling of anxiousness or frustration or anger, and bring themselves to the break area, right? Breaks are super informal. It's just they go there, they take a break, they reset, they come back, right? It could be as simple as like moving from A to B, right? Moving from where I'm sitting to another area. So let's say you don't have the ability to create a take a break area, right? You can have like just a take a break mat in the middle of the room, honestly. You can have it be in the kitchen on the chair where and like move it in the corner or something. Like you don't have to have this designated um, sensory room, right? But definitely a non-rewarding. They're not interested in going there to be on the iPad. It's just something where they learn to really reset. What was I going to say? So I just think that taking a break is just super important to de-escalate from a larger behavior occurring. So again, creating a little tiny space like a carpet or a chair. It doesn't need to be anything extraordinary, having them label the emotions, creating a process around the taking a break, and then them going right back into what they were doing initially. So it's not a timeout. It's not a consequential thing like you threw that and I need to go take a break. It's something prior to that really big behavior. So the next video, it's going to be like take a break cards. I'm going to show you some examples of fidgets. An example of a take a break area that I'll show you really quickly how you can just create any space in your home for a take a break, really. We're going to be talking about breathing. An example is when my son gets irritated, right? And I notice he is likely going to hit or kick or something. He's young, right? Toddlerhood. He has his frustrated things, as he calls them, that he can go get in his basket, and I label, hey, you look really frustrated. Why don't we go get one of your frustrated things, right? And after that, he takes his 3 breaths. So he knows that when he's done, just show me he is ready. He can take his 3 breaths. So I will show you, I have a visual board you can use. You can create a craft. So there's just a ton of things coming on Take a Break. I hope this little video helped. I created a bullet point thing that I'm going to put on my resources so you can read over it. It's kind of what I read off of today for you guys, so I didn't miss anything. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. We can even video call so that I can help you maybe create a space in your house. So later this week, I'll be sharing more on Take a Break. So I hope this helps you a little bit, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.